Hello, I'm Mr. McBrien. This is TEJ3M, Turing 10, working with the mouse. Yesterday we talked about functions and procedures. Today I'd like to talk briefly about working with the mouse. By way of introduction, we can talk about the DOS prompt, which we've actually used in this course, but it really hasn't been in proper use for a very, very long time. During development, we can still interact with the user via the keyboard, but user-friendly software works far more intuitively and has a number of advantages. One of the big ones is that spelling and capitalization no longer become a problem. We can click on menus for prompts. We can do things like have rollover hints if we want to get sophisticated. And of course, we're just used to the mouse. Once we're using the mouse, we no longer see these kinds of problems where we ask for a number between 1 and 10 and have to output, I don't understand, because we don't anticipate what the user's going to do. There will come a time when mice aren't used anymore. And really that time isn't far from now. But right now they're a great option for us in building our interface. So I'd like to just point you towards some detailed references. As I'm sure you've been multiple times on the compsci.ca site, there are a number of different things you can look at there. You can get to there, since this won't be hyperlinked in my movie. You can get to there just by searching how to use a mouse in Turing. Okay, in terms of locating the mouse, we can monitor it using a loop. At any time we wish, we can determine the location of the mouse and whether it's been clicked with a very simple command. And that command is mouse.where. The x, y coordinates, and whether or not it's been clicked. Don't forget to declare those variables. If you don't declare them, you'll just get an error message. Now, there aren't many tricks to using the mouse. It's really pretty easy. But one that you will find is that Turing doesn't like it if the mouse moves outside of the active window. And for this reason, when you design applications that use the mouse, what you want to do is make the window large. If you don't, your application will crash as soon as the mouse moves outside of your window. Now, one way to make the window large, you've already found some of them, I'm sure, but one is just to use the view.set command and set it to maximum. Okay. Now, in terms of detecting a click, it's worth noting that many applications, you just don't care about the location of the mouse unless the user clicks. Now, the good news here is that your loop can just ignore the location of the mouse until the button result is a 1. And you can probably anticipate how to do this. With a simple if-then statement, you can keep checking the status of the mouse and wait for it to show a result of 1. And when it does, then you can retain the location of the mouse at that point. And really this is what I have in mind for our first activity then. Just write a loop to use the command to detect that the user clicked a button and where it was. And what I'd like you to do is just output the location of the click to the screen. And your output should look something like this. Okay, and so now with you having written some code to detect the location of the mouse on click, we can do things a little differently. We can start to do things like allow the user to click on a spot on the screen and draw in a given color or with a given shape. Perhaps a more common requirement is to detect an intersection with some kind of object that we've already drawn on the screen. And with rectangles, that's pretty easy. So for activity 2, what I'd like you to do is take your rectangle array algorithm that you did previously and write an application then that detects when a user clicks on one of these rectangles and turns the rectangle colored blue. And if any of you are looking for a little more of a challenge, it's a far more interesting problem to detect when the user clicks on a circle. Okay, to summarize, mice may be becoming dated, but they're still today an important interface device and a useful one. Turing has tools for using the mouse, and they're really not that bad once you get used to them. You can make applications that use the mouse fairly easily. For your homework, I'd like you to do activities 1 and 2. Activity 1, detecting the mouse click locations, and activity 2, changing colors of rectangles when users click them. Thanks very much, and have a good day.